Welcome back to all the crackers in the box. I'm glad you stopped in for a little chatteroo. Still sporting my new beautiful shirt. So very excited about it. No, I won't wear it forever, but right now it's new. The novelty hasn't worn off, and I made 3 videos in one go, so I was going to change my shirt to give the illusion of it not being all the same time, but I just had a bunch of diamond arts fall from up high there and hit me on my head, so I just kind of want to get done with this so I can go ow in private. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and hopefully today's video is not too unhinged for you. Okay, there's a little space behind me here because I took out a bag because I wanted to take a little closer look at this particular yarn that I grabbed a couple months ago, closer to January, and I just grabbed a couple in the color Curry. We recycle yarn as opposed to We Heart yarn, which I absolutely love. This is a cotton, and it's made of all recycled cotton. It is definitely dishwasher, dishcloth, thank you, English, dishcloth quality. But also at the same time, I could see the softening up being washed because I've never actually used it. I wanted it for the color, and it turned out the texture and thickness wouldn't work for the project I wanted it for. So now I just kind of have it hanging out as I'm deciding what to do with it. It is 100% recycled cotton. And I love the color. This is an interesting color. It's called Curry. Gives me mustard vibes. 4.5 millimeter knitting needles or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And it says, hard to read on over here, it is produced for Hobie and Copenhagen, Denmark, but it doesn't say where it's produced. Some people find that to be very, very important. But yeah, it's recycled cotton. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be from like India, where they have a lot of those clothes dumping spots. I think it was India, I heard had quite a few, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them. I'll fully support that kind of thing. The idea that so many clothes are just sitting and rotting and just ruining the environment is right up next to the plastic for me, where it's, as I'm sitting surrounded by all my yarns being plastic. But to be fair, these all were things, all this plastic here was from making purchases. I mean, we can't even get grocery bags here, but you can still get a lot of stuff packaged in no straws. So I get the terrible paper straws because I hate the taste of paper and all that. But I do want to see a change towards a lot more recycling and a lot more reusing things. So I do have a bunch of stuff, that clothing that I want to repurpose because they're stained or they have a bit of holes or they're just plain ugly. Like some stuff you see are just, no one is going to want to have that, and they're just going to end up throwing it in the dumpster. So I'm just going to strip it down and possibly use it as t-shirt yarn. So that is an idea of something I would like to do. I'm thinking about maybe doing a couple heavier area rugs or play mats. One of my daughters is extra heavy on her feet, and I'm always trying to find ways to keep her feet a bit quieter for the neighbors downstairs, being that it's got to be difficult because as soon as she's up, everybody's up. But it is something we are working on all the time. Anyways, that's an idea. But yeah, I keep thinking about t-shirt yarn. I've got the leg thing for my sewing machine so I can be able to steady. And I have a ridiculous amount of threads. So that's on the docket very soon to start cutting, which is going to be a lot to do. So it's going to be a very slow moving project, I swear. So in my last video, I looked a little crazy. I put all my yarns into plastic bags. I feel like almost halfway ashamed. Nobody said anything, but it's just all in my head that I feel like I look like I'm totally crazy. And then the day after my video went up, a moth decided it's going to live behind my TV. I can't reach it. My husband won't touch it because he thinks it's hilarious. And then I'm being paranoid about my yarn. Okay, buddy. But it's behind my TV, and if I try to reach it, I will knock my TV over, and not happening. So I have a pet, and apparently my daughter found one that was dried out and hanging out by my laundry basket in my bathroom behind me. So I think they might be coming in through my bathroom vent again, because it's up on the roof. We've had problems with spiders, so something else to put on my to-do list, to get out the ladder, pull off the grates, and give all the bathroom fans a really good cleaning, and probably spray them down with vinegar. It usually works well. I don't spray the motor. Don't spray the motor. It is the tenant's responsibility to keep those clean. I had no freaking idea. So every few months I have to do them and give them a good dusting, a good vacuuming, and I like to take my duster and put a little vinegar on it and rub the fan blades just to give it a little more of a cleaning. I like to clean with vinegar quite a bit because it is quite the good disinfectant, and I find it does deter most bugs. There's not very many bugs that really like to have vinegar. So like my furnace room has open grate, and I like to put a cup every month or so in my furnace room just because it's got a lot of access to outside. In the winter it can be quite, if we don't keep the fan on, we definitely get a lot of cold air, so the fan has to be on all the time. We didn't know for the first year. That was fun, but now we know. Yeah, so I also found a couple more carpet beetles floating around, and those guys have been in here since before we moved in. They kind of come with this particular area, and you can clean and clean and clean and clean and clean and dust and do all that stuff, which I do, and they will still come out because this building that I live in sat for a few years empty and unfinished, and so there are some issues. Like the one that matched mine, they had a rotting support beam, and boy, they've had to do a lot of work on that particular unit, and it kind of freaks me out because we have matching ones, so was ours doing that too. They've looked, but I mean, you never know. I'm hoping that it isn't, because I don't want to have to move or have my ceiling come crashing down one day out of nowhere. That would really suck. But I get paranoid over things like that. I had lived in a house that was in the woods, and randomly one day I was in my room. One day that my son and I were not in the living room, we were playing in my room and hadn't really come out to the living room yet, and a pine tree that had been eaten by pine beetles fell onto the roof of my house where my living room was. Luckily, it didn't really do a lot of damage because it wasn't like the heaviest tree. But that shook me up quite a bit. I was just, to this day I'm still, go live in the woods. Give yourself a good perimeter between you and the biggest trees, especially if you start seeing them turn red. And they're not supposed to be red. Get them down. You don't want them to fall out of nowhere. Like, it's loud, it's scary, it could be very dangerous, and people could get hurt, or property damage, which is not as important to me as people getting hurt, but definitely it spooked me for a while, and it was the closest one to the house, but I knew it was not doing well. Anyways, I feel like I'm babbling again tonight, and that seems to be a trend with me. I spend a lot of time in toddler land, and I do it my own self. So one of my projects that I am thinking about getting to is my dolces. I won 2 dolces and 8 fluffy days from Hobie, from Bingo. That's why I'm one of the reasons why I'm such a big Bingo fan. These are insanely beautiful. That's why I needed to be sure that the moths are not gonna infest my beautiful yarns, because regular price on a Dolce Cashmere on Hobie is about $65 for one American. So for me, that's like 70 something dollars. I don't have money like that to buy myself yarn, just for me. But as a present for myself, for playing a game and getting to crochet and drink some coffee for an hour, that is priceless. And I don't win a lot of prizes. I don't get out very much right now. And shortly after I got this prize, which was amazing except for DHL. If you can avoid using DHL in Canada, please avoid them. They really get you with their fees, because Hobie paid for it to be sent here, and I had to pay another $23 for them to even deliver it to my home. Other than that, they were going to send it back. And I'm like, what for? And they're like, oh, just expedite it, whatever, just to get it through customs. And I was watching it through another app for the thing, and it was not kept in customs at all. It went through customs in 5 minutes. They took one look, squished it a little, and sent it on its way. And I still had to pay when customs wasn't looking for it. So for the people saying that they're always paying customs, because there's a lot of them on Facebook saying that, double check. Try Canada Post and see if you actually get dinged with it. Some people are saying the Canada Post is dinging people, but if you are getting massive, giant orders, like the $250 orders that some people are getting, you might get dinged. I find my biggest one, which was like $230 American, and had 2 of the neck lamps, which are metal, that one got dinged. But all my other orders, including my prize, they actually didn't get dinged. And I usually keep it about 100 to 150, just so I know that it's going to be at a reasonable level. It's not going to be heavy. I could make 2 orders if I wanted to, and I still probably wouldn't hear a thing from them. So that would be my best advice, to avoid paying customs. I mean, but if they need to charge customs, they're going to charge it closer to things like Christmas. They are going to come after everyone at Christmas time. So if you want to get your yarn from out of country, and that includes America and blah, 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 I'd recommend getting it done as early as possible. Like, this would be a perfect time of year to, but of course, if you can't find the yarn you're looking for, you're going to be struggling. By Christmas time, I definitely would be very wary about ordering anything right before Christmas, just for that reason. And if I did, I would make sure it's small orders, because they usually don't bother if it's worth $30. They're not going to really look at you twice, I don't think. And I found if my order landed in Quebec, there's more likely a chance that I may have to get charged for it. Not saying that's necessarily true every time, because I did land in Quebec more than once and not have it. So even the carrier who came to bring it to me and get me to pay it through Canada Post was saying there is no rhyme or reason. But she was saying she strongly suspects it's like the bigger, heavier, more expensive, big products that are going to get caught on customs. What else should we talk about today? Should I just do a little working? I haven't been working on diamond art. I have to glue a few more things, like these Dollarama glasses that look so good on me. Love them. Brand new, got them for $1.25. This cracked. So I've been trying to glue it, and it isn't going well. And my Timo ring, which is perfect for my thinner cottons, this part snapped right off. And I've tried gluing it, and this glue is not holding it. So I have yet another glue that my mom happened to have for something similar. Had our super glue. It says it's good on metal, so I'm gonna give it a try, because this is not plastic like these ugly ones. Like, I don't like these ones, but they are so far the most tolerant, easiest. They've held up the most, but they're not the most attractive. Like, I feel like I'm a school marm, and if I'm not wearing blue, like, I feel this is clashy, and I'm not a big fan of being clashy. Anyway, but yeah, this right here is some Minecraft tape from Minecraft set of paper boxes my son used to have, and I just did a matching one for fun. But this is just really, it cracked in 2 spots. I can still kind of wear them, but it's really hard to keep them on my face, so I'll be adjusting them quite often. And yeah, I don't want to be clashing. Not when my beautiful, beautiful top is finally done for me. Alright, just give me a moment while I go get a drink. Tea. Put that on my coaster. I have wood furniture in my bedroom, and I prefer my coasters to be used so my finish will stay nicer longer. So let's do a little bit of crochet with me and think about colors. I love the colors. I talk about Hobie quite often. I am super, super, super impressed with their colors, their style. I mean, their saturation is just gorgeous. Their textures are beautiful. And yes, I do realize that most of their products come from Turkey, which I'm totally fine with. I used to sell jewelry from an importer, and we got stuff from Turkey all the time, Turkey and India, and some of the stuff is just absolutely stunning. And I mean, I'm never going to complain about that. So I need to go over here and double check that. So this particular pattern is going to be me going back and forth between 2 or 3 maybe open PDFs, because it came with 3 PDFs that you could download, and I got all 3 just to be sure that I can cross-reference. This also is going to be great because it's going to help me learn how to use a proper graph, because some of my older patterns that we have are only graphs. So that would be absolutely amazing to be able to use these ones. Okay, and that's the one that doubled up. Yeah. Row 6. Row 6 asked me to put in a double set of a certain one, because I think this was transferred from English to English from another language, and I think a couple things got lost in translation, which is not a problem. I mean, they were nice enough to put this out for free. I am not going to say, oh, you could do better. I could do better. Like, come on. Okay. Alright. So it's saying that my chain 4, then 4 double crochets, right? So, give it a beautiful. Got that gorgeous soft pink. This one definitely reminds me of watermelon, but not like muted watermelon, like if it was in a watercolor painting, is what I would think of. 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4, and then chain 3. And because this one's a lot of counting, this one's definitely not going to be one I'm going to be doing on camera very much. I just wanted to show how the yarn just really, really slides. I don't like the way that pulled through. Yeah, pulled on that. 3. And 4. Okay, and then 1 triple crochet. So there's triple crochet and a new one to me, a double triple crochet, which of course was 1 more set of loops. New stitches can make me a little nervous here and there. So I'm gonna give that a tighten. I'm gonna go like this. But I put my stitch marker. Let's put you down, bad boy. And we're going to look at my gorgeous colors here. That is so pretty. There's green, there's a pale yellow, and it really feels very, very light season, which is great, which is what she was going for. She wanted something summery. She wanted something with a little more rapid color change than, say, my cakes, which I like. She wanted something a little more. She just wanted rapid color change, and she wanted all sorts of different colors. She didn't want it to be like a neutral palette. She didn't want it to be this kind of palette. She wanted something that was a little more all over the place and a little more unique. So hopefully this fits the bill. I think it's going to fit the bill. And I think that I'm going to call it a day here. I'm going to go sit on my bed and do some more crocheting. I'm pretty sure I see a video over there playing that I want to watch. And I kind of want to get this out and over and out to you, dear yarn people. On a side note, I've been watching a lot of Yarn Geek, and she's been putting out some really thoughtful, heartfelt videos, and I wish her all the luck in her journeys, and that she just keeps moving forward and realizing that she is very loved. And I mean, I love seeing her videos on. I watch her most days, and I watch her lives with this Affordable Crafty, or whenever I can catch any lives she's doing. And it's nice to feel like I have yarn people in my life while I'm stuck not having much of a social life right now, because toddler life, right? And I'm too tired, quite frankly. I am too tired to go out, and this way I feels like these YouTube people are in my home keeping me company while I'm sitting here enjoying some quiet, peace and quiet, which I don't get a lot of. So thank you, all the O2 people out there watching, listening, making, creating, any of it. This is an interesting journey so far, and I'm having it gives me something to look forward to make a video. I think about it quite often, like, could I put this in a video? Is this something I want to do? How do I want to do my videos? I'm still figuring it out. And I'm trying not to just get discouraged from the analytics and stuff like that. So I'm trying not to look at them where it's saying, oh, you're not getting any repeat people. Okay, well, maybe I'm not finding the right people yet. So thank you to my 18 subscribers. That's super exciting for me. I'm excited that you choose me to be on your subscription list, even if you're watching me or not watching me, or you're saving up for a few days. Maybe my personality will grow on you. Possibly not. That's okay too. Anyways, thanks for joining me on All the Crackers on the Box. And happy crochet.